Alright, hey, what's up guys? Goes for New this time with my car channel. So this is the first channel the first video I'm actually doing for this channel officially. This time I'm doing a G37/G35/G25 buying guide. So I'm starting off with my car here. You can see everything's in here, my Infiniti G37. I have the X version, and I have some things I'm going to go over with you guys just to, you know, have for reference if you're buying one of these cars. The first thing, since we're inside my car, is radio. The radio on these cars, there's 3 different editions of it. The one that I have here, and I made shorts about it, is the GPS one that has everything on it, has Bluetooth and everything. Now keep in mind, these cars do not have Bluetooth unless you get the navigation. And for the later models, that isn't even guaranteed. I mean, for the earlier models, sorry. The earlier models, it's not even guaranteed. The other thing that I want to say as well is that whenever you're looking at these, make sure to look at the leather condition. Leather condition is very predictive about how these cars were driven. So I'm gonna turn off my car here real quick, and we're gonna go right outside of my car here real quick, and I'm gonna show you one of the things that I'm gonna say. So these cars, mine has 80,000 miles around there. So as you see, I have the WeatherTech mats. Mine came with that. It's very dirty, I apologize for that, but it's WeatherTech mats. So I can't see if someone drove it more for city miles or highway miles. You're gonna look for that, and that's the #1 thing that I recommend, is seeing wear on the seats and everything. Typically these seats are known for collapsing right here, the foam is. Luckily mine isn't, but you will see that quite a lot on these cars. The next thing that is very unfortunate about these cars, you can kind of see it on my paint here, all through here, the clear coat on it and the paint quality on these things is abysmal. It's awful. It's not very good. And honestly, I don't like it the most. I'm gonna show you back here real quick because it's really bad back here. So my sensors here for back reversing, they're really not the best. This one's awful. It's came up all the way down there, and I know how to fix it, and I'm trying to fix it right now. The other thing to look out for is the headlights. So the headlights are going to be one of the things that go first. My headlights are starting to turn yellow. They'll be yellowed out, but that happens within 100,000 miles or with age. That depends on how hard it was driven, if it was left outside or not. I leave my car outside because I don't really have a choice, unfortunately. But yeah, so the next thing that I'm gonna say is I'm gonna say this. If your car is missing its mats, such as I had to find my back ones, if it has no mats at all, I will be concerned, because that means that they probably messed with the mats. That happens a lot with these cars, with any car, but with the mats you'll really notice it. The next thing is going to be the powertrain of this car. So as you guys know, this car is powered by a VQ. It's a G37 3.7 VQ. This one's the VHR. I do recommend that one over all the other models because they really refine this car compared to the early ones. So the G35, I had experience with that, and let me go and pop this real quick and I'll show you guys. I had experience a lot with that, and honestly, that car had a lot of issues. One of the most common things with this car is this guy right here being missing. But that's so far as like buying the car. If you guys are looking into some of the stuff that fails typically with these cars, not a lot. It's actually the engine. It's not the engine at all, in my opinion. I had my G35. It had 180,000 miles on it, so it had a lot of miles, a huge amount of miles, and I didn't have any issues with it. The only one I had was whenever I unplugged the radio, but that was my own fault, so keep in mind that. Whenever you're looking at the cars as well, make sure the fluids are checked. That's what I would do. And these hoses are a common thing that goes bad, but they're not really with the engine. It's just those hoses, as over time they go bad. These have been replaced by the previous owner, which I appreciate a lot. That's really awesome. Another thing that happened in my other car was the intake shredded. I didn't see anyone talking about that at all. They do shred sometimes. And the next thing I want to get into after, of course, reliability and long-lasting ability is going to be the customization. So these cars are very customizable. I would avoid the early like the V36.1, the .2, which is going to be the one that has these headlights right here and this bumper with the little spikes on it. More like a katana is what I think of it as. And it also has the fog lights. The reason I recommend those overall is because you can get different headlights for this one, but for the one that goes out more like this, they do not have actually different headlights. The other thing that's kind of weird about this is the fact that, in all honesty, back there is the same as my old car. Up here is the only difference. So they changed out this here, which you can change this out. It's the fender, the bumper, and the hood is the same. But the fender and the bumper are the only thing that changes to change these headlights. Which, if you are looking to get the GTR style headlights, you are going to need these headlight style to actually do it. The other thing that I want to say as well is they do make actually kits for Android Auto. They're called V-lines, and they go into your radio. So I'm gonna get back in my car here. Imagine my radio is here, and behind there there's like 5 connections. That V-line taps into there, and it taps into the screen where you can use the screen as a Android Auto. The next thing that I'm going to say is the steering wheel on these guys are replaceable, although be warned of your clock spring. Clock spring can go bad very fast, and that's something there. The next thing is going to be performance mods. As you guys saw, I have cold air intakes, as well as a, not upgraded brakes, but they look upgraded. I had cold air intakes, I had pipe upgrades, and I had the sway bar. So these cars are almost identical to a Z. So if you look under there, I don't know if you can see that, guys, but there. So that was my, that was whatever it's called, the I don't even know what it's called. But also, this has a lot of options from the Z because it's the same car. The only difference is this car has a different body on it. The rest of it is the same. That means you have the same options for brakes, the same options for exhaust, which means loads of options. The only thing that is really weird is the fact that, that's the weird fact. It's just that everything else is the same except for the body panels. I have seen people actually get like ends for this right here. I'm not gonna take my car, but I've seen people get ends for that. My plans are to make this black and make my fog lights black. The other thing you can do is get the sport bumper, which is going to be like the IPL bumper, where it goes straight down there like that, instead of being off like a little bit and more like happy looking. The one looks like it's like evilly smirking instead of like happy smirking. The other thing I'm going to say as well is if you're thinking about the coupe or the sedan, it is really nice to think about the legroom in the back. So this is my back of my car here. That is with my spot here, and I'm a very tall person. This is me. So very tall. I'm 6'3", and this thing I can get in the back of my car and the front of my car at the same position. So I'll go ahead and get in here, and I'll show you my legroom here. So this is me sitting normally in my car and behind me. Keep in mind, it is really good for both sides, but honestly, it is really nice. I can fit like my legs like this, although my knees are higher than more people usually are, but the seat is very comfy, it's very plush, it's very, movable, and that's something to look out for as well, as I said. The other thing that I would advise against, or not advise against, but tell you, is the fact that these cars do have a problem with their interior quality. The older models were known for cracking. The newer models, like my car, which this is the last year of the G27, when they call it the Q40, this stuff really got sticky over time. I have actually looked into it, and these models that are later on do not actually have that problem as much, which is good. Another thing as well is the fact that you will notice that the steering wheel is the only thing that starts to really give out or start to wear. That is just how it is. I don't know how to explain that. I would recommend getting a new one, although a new one from Infiniti is about $8,000. So my personal opinion is just get an aftermarket one of the ones that looks like a racing wheel. They're a lot better. But besides that, this is the part 1 of things to look out for and the buyer's guide to the 2008 to 2013 G Sedan / coupe. So that's some of the stuff I would look out for myself. I am making a video pretty soon with my friend Joe about his Z and compare it to my car, which is a newer version of it, the last version of basically the VQ. But yeah, if you guys want to watch that, make sure to comment below and subscribe, and also like. If you guys want to support me more, you can follow my Instagram at ghostplays880. It's the one with my car in it, of course. But without further ado, I will see you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great day, and stay spooky, my friends.